Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the WTF1 podcast, the British Grand Prix edition, and also the tired edition, especially for you two, because you've been camping for... glamping with Sport Pacer Racing Point Formula 1 team.
Indeed.
We have.
Have you been able to say it as quickly as I do in IVR?
Sport Pacer Racing
Point Formula 1.
Wow, Jess is tired. Did that feel as slow as it sounded?
What?
So today, obviously, we're talking about the wondrous goings-on at Silverstone.
What a race.
It was wondrous, wasn't it?
What a race. But before we get into it, I'm Matt.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Jess.
And you're not...
Pregnant.
which is something, if we didn't include the start, you had someone...
That makes no sense.
There was, on the last podcast, someone commented that should be the way that I announce to the world that I'm pregnant. By no longer saying I'm Jess, just by going, and I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, as we said, not happening anytime soon.
No, and probably not the best way to tell everyone. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
If you have any new viewers, they might just think that's your name.
I mean, pregnant. I would hope that people would know that that's
it's the internet.
Not a name.
No one has common sense. Right, let's get into the British Grand Prix and not pregnancy. 3-word race reviews. So we have a few. Fortunately, they're all very positive. Hot_streak6. Darn good race. I have not said the word darn in a very long time.
Darn's a good word.
Darn is like not as strong as damn, but nearly
it's
there.
Quite British.
I'm doing like a weird...
A darn good race.
We're all like
Neil's,
very tired.
Yeah, this is going to be a really delirious, but probably fun to watch podcast for you guys. Niels058_ better without Mercedes.
Oh.
Shocking. Spoopy Roll, best weekend ever. Now, Spoopy Roll is a fan of ours that's created quite a lot of art, hasn't she, for us? And,
yes.
and we finally got to meet her at Silverstone. We got to meet a lot of WTF1 fans.
We did.
It was amazing.
Obviously, it's the Monday now, and it hasn't really soaked in for me.
No,
what about you guys?
It was very surreal how many people were there yesterday and over the whole weekend, really. It was incredible.
So we were all there at Silverstone in some kind of capacity, and we did meet and greets, didn't we, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday being the most insane thing ever, because you guys, we did it for 4:45 p.m. after the race. We thought maybe some people will come. We had Jack Aitken there as well, the lad, F2 sprint
winner.
race winner. Chicken dinner, as we like to say yesterday. And yeah, I remember I arrived about 10 minutes later, because, fashionably late and all that.
Well, what were you doing, Matty? Why were you late?
While I was on a tractor, what were you doing?
That was the funniest message ever, sending you going, Tommy, I'm about to go in a helicopter. And you went, I'm on a tractor.
That's literally how we got transported
Staying humble.
to and from the track, was in a tractor.
Yeah, and I was very lucky to have Paddock Club passes, which I've never had before, and felt completely out of my comfort zone going through there on the red carpet, being like, oh, people are eating lobster. I don't even know how to open a lobster. So just kind of looked at it like, you all right, mate? And yeah, and it was just an unbelievable weekend. What are you going to say there, Jess?
You were talking to a lobster.
Yeah, and I hadn't actually drunk anything.
Because you were driving every day.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an awesome experience. So yeah, Fanatec obviously was amazing. So thank you to those guys.
Yeah, but where were you? You haven't clarified where you were and why you were late.
Club. Oh yes. Yes, we're in the wing, which is where Paddock Club was, and we were getting a shuttle, but there was loads of traffic because it was after the race, and so we got out, walked, and arrived about 10 minutes late. And I remember seeing a massive crowd of people, and I thought, because they were at the back of that, was it what stage was that? I don't know.
James Bond.
It was a James Bond thing.
Yeah.
So I saw it and I was like, oh, what's going on over here? Is there a driver or something turning up, or some sort of celeb? And then I remember arriving and I think you said something, didn't you? I didn't hear you say it. Be like, oh, there's Matty over there or something. And then some people started to turn around, like nod and smile. And I was like,
Yeah, they're here
this
for
is
us.
the meet and greet. I generally thought it was like down near the esports section, and it turned out to be so many of you guys, which was just insane.
It was
amazing.
Everyone
Thank
was
you.
Orderly
Thank you
cute.
very
It was
much.
amazing. And we met Spoopy Roll, who was our biggest fan ever, and it was amazing to meet her as well. Because she has created some amazing fan art for us, and we got it.
And animations and.
And we should have brought the frame
we could have
thing.
had it on the.
Oh well, maybe next time.
Missed opportunity.
We'll have it in the middle of the table. But yeah, unbelievable weekend, wasn't it?
Just
So good.
Silverstone is a magical place, and I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but it is just got that sense about it where, I mean, and it was packed this weekend. It was a sellout crowd, but I think even more so, like the general admission, I think they almost sold out of as well. Just absolutely, even on the Thursday, Friday, the whole track
Friday
was
we
rammed.
tried to go in the grandstand on Friday and couldn't get a seat.
Which is not usually
is
the
not
case
usual.
at all.
Yeah.
There was queues coming in pretty much every entrance,
Every
especially
day.
for Sunday.
Yeah.
My dad went and he said that it was back to like sort of 08 levels, where you'd actually be fully backed out. So it's great to see. And obviously, I think probably a lot of people bought tickets thinking maybe this is the last Silverstone.
Yeah, I mean, well played marketing and PR department.
Oh, this is our last one. 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, there was because some of our fans had come that we met had told us I think Andrew, he'd come all the way from South Africa on his own.
Yep.
Shout out to Andrew. That's
Mad
commitment.
case.
Because he thought it was the last Grand Prix. And you know what? What I was saying to some other people was, if it had been on your bucket list and the fear of it being the last one made you do that push to go, then you've not lost out because.
No, absolutely.
And oh my gosh, did you not lose out because that race was just the best. I mean, again, I don't know if it's because of the atmosphere and actually seeing it live, but most people I've seen that weren't there and still watched the race said it was an incredible race too. So
Yeah, as you say, the atmosphere, I feel like everyone was a lot more pumped. I'm not sure why.
You could
but
feel.
You could hear it on
and
the television.
yeah.
You don't usually, when an incident happens, you don't hear the crowd go,
And also, it wasn't just Lewis's battle and Lewis getting into the lead. It was everything. Vettel and Verstappen crashing, Charles and Max going wheel to wheel.
Even
you could hear
Giovinazzi.
you could hear the crowd for every incident, which
Yeah.
was amazing.
which is awesome. And I think that enhances the TV viewing experience as well as actually being there watching.
Definitely.
So, right, let's get into some three-word race reviews, shall we? Because I feel like we will probably talk for about 4 hours if we don't have some kind of structure. So let's start with mine first. Bottas has elbows. Yeah, that's about as good as I
born
could come up
with
with. I was really impressed with Bottas. Obviously, stealing pole from Lewis. Lewis wasn't on his A game Saturday. I feel like he definitely left something on the table, especially ruining his first run, which is strange for Lewis at Silverstone. Usually, it's A game all the way. But
He'd been twitchy the whole weekend, though, hadn't he? He hadn't looked quite settled, especially was it through. It was Beckett's and Brooklands that he seemed to have wobbles.
he went off a few times in practice through
Yeah,
there.
he
And
did.
yeah, it was interesting. And Bottas didn't seem to have as many issues,
No.
and he's been great at qualifying this year. You can't take that away from him. And the start of the race, you think Hamilton's all over him, because I've heard a few rumours that I'm not sure how true this is, but I'll share it anyway. That Bottas is putting his setup more towards qualifying, trying to get pole, and almost sacrificing some of his pace from the race. Whereas people believe that Hamilton's knows that he'll get within close distance of Bottas and actually preparing more for the race, which would actually then explain how he's able to take his tyres further. But that's just a rumour. But Bottas' elbows was mainly to do with that unbelievable move into Copse. Did not expect that. I thought, although we had a cutaway to the grandstands, that once Hamilton was through, that was it. I thought although Hamilton was very kind, I felt, because did he think the Bottas were going to go and do that move? I don't know.
I don't think anyone thought Bottas was going to do that move. Everybody seemed really taken aback by it because we were lucky enough to be sat at Luffield, which is where Hamilton made the move.
I bet Tommy was stood. I bet you were stood up, weren't you?
People were going crazy.
People
It
were
was
going
good. It was good.
absolutely mental. But then as they went through and towards Copse, you could see Bottas was still right there. Like, he did not give up, and fair play. Like, I'm gonna say, I know people. I got so many tweets.
Bottas bashing.
Oh, what did you think of that move? Like, but yeah, fair play. It was. But I think that was kind of the underlying theme of the entire weekend was there was just such awesome but fair racing.
Because they let them race.
Yeah, because they let them
Exactly,
race.
yeah.
But, everyone was leaving space for each other, but still sticking it in places that I just didn't even think you could stick a car around Silverstone. It was just absolutely a treat to watch.
Especially that last sector. I forget the name every time, where the chicane is. What's that corner
Vale.
called? Is it Vale?
Club.
No, Club. That's it,
Yeah,
Club
Club,
corner. Just after Stowe. And I remember speaking to quite a few fans, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, I got Club, and I didn't think it was going to be that good." And then they had so
All the
many,
action,
so much of the action.
But because when we were talking to people at the meet and greet and asking, oh, well, where were you sat? everyone was like, well, I was sat here and I got all the action. But then somebody would be sat somewhere else. Well, I sat here and I got all the action. And we were like, well, we were in Luffield and we got all the action. So I don't think there was a bad seat. There wasn't a bad seat in the house.
Well, even Cops, I guess you saw Bottas and Hamilton. I think Cops is probably the worst place to sit for the race, purely because apart from the Bottas Hamilton, I don't think. Actually, no, you had Lando and Ricciardo as well.
Yeah, DRS section up into there.
I think it was good that we had so much action throughout the whole field, because it just shows that while we'd love a title fight between all the cars, and yes, it's unfortunately another Mercedes 1-2, but so much better when it's a Mercedes 1-2, when they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
You had the Ferraris and Red Bulls fighting, and you had all the midfield fighting. You almost, the result becomes almost a little irrelevant when the race was just so good.
I genuinely couldn't believe how close Bottas and Hamilton were getting, and I was like, oh, but then Charles and Max got even closer, which was insane. Let's get on to a few questions. Kiwi_NGX says, do you think Lewis could have won even without the safety car? Obviously, he was on the hards, unlike Bottas.
Well, he put the hards on when the safety car came out.
So
and I think that changed his whole strategy, because they were still Mercedes was still asking him to two-stop. And he said no. I think it was lap 44 they called him in, and he stayed out and was like,
lap 44. No.
I know, yeah, that's how I remembered. I was like, lap 44. They called him in to double stop. So I think had the safety car not come out, he probably would have pitted for another set of mediums.
Yeah, it's weird. I've been reading up on that. Right? Yeah, I've been reading up on that, and it seems a lot of news sort of articles are saying that Lewis knew all along that he was going to do a one-stop, and
really,
he was saving
that to Mercedes.
Because I think being in the stands, our initial reaction was, "Oh, Bottas was robbed there because of the safety car," but it didn't seem that way at all, because Bottas was always going to do a two-stop.
Yeah.
If Lewis had done that one-stop, Bottas would have had to pull an entire pit stop ahead, which.
And he didn't have
with
the pace
greatest
anyway.
respect, I don't think he would have done.
He didn't even get fastest lap.
No.
So, which shows that he didn't have the pace.
And don't get me wrong, the timing for Lewis that he could behind the safety car, and not only that, he was also at Stowe, so he was ready to come into the pits, didn't have to do a full lap around. It played perfectly into his hands, but I do genuinely think he probably would have won anyway. Yeah,
and there was interesting analysis that they were saying that with Lewis's driving style around Silverstone in particular, it can help that he can push the rubber further, even without losing pace. So he kind of put it on to Bottas, kind of forcing Bottas to open up his front left, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because Hamilton had a much better Friday running as well in terms of tyre wear and that sort of stuff. And according, to what I've read, Lewis was almost trying to push Bottas.
I think Bottas's tyres were shot quite early, probably from defending from Hamilton so much.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Bottas dealt very well with the pressure. Because that was insane. Because Lewis just looked so aggressive,
probably
going
pumped
at
by
him.
the crowd as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that can't be easy either. Because I'm sure Bottas knows this is not his territory.
Yeah.
This is Lewis's ground.
Home ground. Yeah.
And I think it would have been a matter of time. Oh, we'll never know. Maybe Lewis wouldn't have got. Maybe he would have had a bunch of attempts, but wouldn't have got round him. Bottas's defense was looking really, really strong. But I would suggest that regardless of the safety car, I think Lewis would have got him at some point.
Absolutely.
But it was interesting because in the post-race TV pen, Lewis made a comment saying that he had to be his own strategist because of being called in and then going, no. So he thanked his team, as he always does, but he also did say, I thought it was interesting that he said that he had to make the final call to win the race. But I mean, he had enough time anyway. He had a big enough window to pit and then come out. Still ahead.
It's weird that
by the end of the race,
the team was trying to get him in and he wanted to stay out.
Odd call,
because it always opens up to a pit error or anything like that. So Lewis is
why
like,
would
no,
you?
the tyres
he
are
had
fine.
a 25-second lead or something. Why would you
could just
bother?
cruise home?
I do think drivers need to do that more. I know it's something that happened years ago when they tried to ban team radio, which was a terrible idea. It wasn't quite executed very well. But you do want that where the driver just goes, no, I'm the driver. This is what I'm doing. I think this is the best thing to do. And ultimately, it won him the race.
It won him the race by a country mile. Let's move on to some other drivers. Jess, your three-word race review?
Is that what I said? I think it's F1 Futures Bright. No,
F1.
F1's Futures Bright.
F1.
That's me trying to get 5 words into a 3-word race
That's
review.
impressive.
What did I say? Where is it?
Future is bright.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Something
It's,
like
the
that.
the Future's Bright.
Okay.
The future's
The
orange.
Future's Bright. And that obviously is in reference to the...
Orange.
Orange, yeah.
Future's
Verstappen.
bright. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, orange. I thought you meant McLaren. I was like, well, yeah, but that's kind of not what I was getting at. Obviously, the battle between Verstappen and Leclerc was epic beyond epic proportions. And if that's what they're like at 21 years of age, good God, what are we going to have when they get more mature and, you know, potentially if the grid shakes up a little bit and they're all in, kind of, I mean, they are still in the top 3, but
If that was for the lead.
if that was for the lead,
Oh my word.
Sweet baby
yeah.
Jess.
And by the
Like
look
that.
of it, that will be for the lead because those two are looking like the future
Unbelievable.
champions.
Yeah, and you don't usually get the 2 top drivers who are 21 years old in a top team like that. You don't.
No.
So we've got at least another 10 years of these two in Formula One having this
gonna be so
already pretty decent rivalry. You know, they've been rivals
And they've
since
definitely
karting.
got even more beef after Austria. I feel like Charles was so much more aggressive than any other
it was-
driver because
But again,
of what
both
happened in the last
fair.
race.
Both. I mean,
Yeah.
they got a little bit dicey when they, you know, when I can't remember what
Last
lap it was
chicane.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they pushed each
Yeah,
other off.
lap
But because
20, I
they
think.
pushed each other off, the stewards were like, well, can't.
But how much better is watching them race like that and there's
And
no
no penalties,
investigation.
yeah.
They didn't even. They could have given them penalties for both going off track, banging wheels,
Yeah.
and there was no investigation. And instead, he just got on with it, and the crowd were cheering. It's just so much better.
That's what I said
So
in
much
IBR. It's almost like they've had an internal chat, the stewards, and
Yeah.
gone,
100%.
okay, these rules are there to be, looked at and adhered to, but there is an element of common sense as well.
Yeah.
And
Clearly, they
as
listen
you
to this
say,
podcast.
yeah, nice to have you on board. But it was like 50 of one, 50 of the other.
Yep.
Just carry on racing, and that is the beauty of it. Not having even an investigation to cloud over what we've just, witnessed. I thought Max, if we were looking at the rules, he was a little bit
Matty.
lucky.
Oh, yeah.
He was a little bit lucky with driving pretty much off the track the entire
But
way. and
Leclerc
regaining,
went off as well. I guess that's what did it for him. But
yeah, that's probably why. But I loved it, especially the wheel banging. That was such a message. That was elbows as well. He was like, "I'm coming through." I'm surprised Max.
that
left
was for
the
Austria.
space
I
and-
genuinely think that was for Austria.
Yeah.
If he'd have seen the comments that said, you weren't aggressive enough, you had a race win on the line, and he saw it was Verstappen, you just know that he knew that was Verstappen and wanted to stick it to him.
And what I found interesting was the very first time they came to blows was through Farm Curve, and then just before they go on to Wellington Straight, Max tried to go around the outside. It was almost a carbon copy of Austria, but Max backed out and was like,
Yeah.
I'll just get him on the straight or try to get him on the straight. And that's the kind of difference. And Charles has learned, like, that's it now. He's not going to take it lying down. And that's awesome to see. And I cannot wait to see how it unfolds.
It's so exciting between those two. I'd love to see them
I'd love to see him as teammates. That
teammates going for a race
that'd
win.
be spicy, wouldn't it?
That would
really?
be some good
I mean, I
viewing.
wouldn't if the Mercedes domination. If you had those two, at least having a title battle between those two would be something to watch.
That would
wouldn't it?
be honestly fireworks.
But how awesome! Like, one of my favorite parts of the race was when they both came into pit at the same time, and
Yeah.
Charles was ahead of Max. And I said to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said Red Bull will have them. I said Red Bull will get them on this pit stop.
Was that when Red Bull
Just-
broke the world record?
No, that was
It
Gasly.
was
So they
Gasly.
did a 1.90 second pit stop.
That is
Jesus
during the race.
absolutely
Christ.
ridiculous.
But yeah, they
Williams,
came
yeah,
out side by side, and it was amazing to see the Red Bull pit crew like
High-fiving.
high-fiving
Yeah.
and going like mental because they got him in the pits. And again, like that, we've had a similar scenario where they did bump. Max obviously got the penalty in, where were we now? Monaco for the unsafe.
That's
not
with
the
Bottas,
unsafe race.
wasn't it?
Yeah. But they gave each other space. Charles ultimately
And sensibly backed out.
But then Max went wide because his tyres weren't hot enough, and Charles got him straight back. It was just constantly. There was no let up.
No, there wasn't.
No let up whatsoever. It was just like,
I I genuinely think if Austria hadn't happened, that fight would not have been anywhere near as
spicy.
Yeah,
I agree.
We needed it. We
Yeah.
need it. It's funny,
so
isn't
good.
it? Because we kind of need these times where it feels unfair or people get shafted for them to then come back and go, you know what? Not this time.
It's nice. I was going to say
Yeah, go
how
on.
close the Ferrari and Red Bull are.
Yeah,
is
really good.
Super exciting. They seem almost level pegging in that race.
yeah.
And we didn't realize though that Max had a problem on the grid before the start. He damaged. He got a hairline crack in the end plate on his rear wing, and so they were fixing it on the grid.
I did not know that.
No.
I guess
because we were in the
you
stand,
wouldn't know.
yeah.
But yeah, when I watched back on the Channel 4 coverage, he was almost in a very damaged car, but they managed to fix it. So
That would have been catastrophic. Right, let's get on to a few questions. Moss in 10 says, do you think Leclerc is overperforming or is Vettel underperforming?
Bit of both.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell, obviously, but Vettel had an absolutely awful weekend. 0.6 of a second off Charles, off pole, pretty much the same thing. It was like,
Yeah.
And
Charles was challenging for pole with the Mercedes, and Vettel was behind Gasly.
which is a bad thing, isn't it?
Yeah, not great.
We'll get on to Gasly and his amazing performance a bit later. But yeah, Vettel, he seemed a bit better in the race. He was in that kind of train of the Red Bulls and the Ferraris.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Gasly and going, oh, there's four cars in that train. Hello,
Go on,
Gasly.
Yeah, he put in some.
Those two had some pretty dicey moves.
Yeah.
It looked pretty. It was exciting.
Vettel nearly got Verstappen at one point as well
Yeah.
when Verstappen tried to get Charles. And
Yeah.
I feel like the whole race, I almost forgetting who overtook who because it just seemed like Vettel was overtaking Gasly and then Leclerc was overtaking Gasly and then Verstappen was overtaking Leclerc.
Yeah.
And those four cars were just swapping all the time.
Yeah.
There seemed so many overtakes.
I, for that question, I don't think Leclerc's overperforming. I think he's probably just about right, and Vettel just had a bad weekend. And I
But
don't.
he's having a few of those, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
He's having a few of those. And I'm so glad I didn't tweet this, but because obviously Leclerc got a little bit shafted with his strategy.
Yeah, he was not happy.
And dropped back and lost the place to Max, obviously. But at one point, it looked like Vettel was going to get P3. And I almost tweeted saying, how on earth have Ferrari managed to slip Vettel onto the podium again? Without any performance really on track. There you go. And shaft Leclerc. And then obviously, I'm really glad I didn't tweet that because...
Yes,
Because then that happened.
Then that happened.
We had the Vettel Verstappen incident, which gets us on nicely to your three-word race review,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Mine is, oh dear, Seb.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh, that was in unison, guys. That was beautiful.
Oh, why?
Harmonised.
Why, oh dear, Seb?
Just for a four-time world champion to be making as many mistakes as he is doing, like Jess was saying, he had the podium handed to him, and you think a situation like that, he's a top driver, he's a world champion.
You should bring it home.
He should bring it home.
Yeah.
And he didn't bring it home. He
ran it into the bin.
He finished behind the Williams.
Yeah, I can feel for him a little bit. 100% it was his fault, the incident. There's no denying that. But I feel, yes, he made a mistake trying to even attempt to overtake Max into that corner.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
I was speaking to Jack, who was mentioning about Max's driving style in the sense of defending, and he's almost wiggling a little bit as he goes into the break, and so you don't know if he's going to cover the inside or go to the outside. And obviously Seb has risked it, and as soon as Max moves over, it's the Danny Rick Verstappen incident all over again. With
from
the fact
Baku.
from Baku, where he's tucked in and he loses all braking performance. There's no chance of him stopping. So Seb has taken that risk because he's said to himself,
they were a little closer though this time than Danny and Max.
in terms of
where the downforce and braking was lost.
Yeah.
And Max didn't move under braking as much as the Baku incident.
No,
there wasn't an inside line for him to go to.
For me, I don't think they're comparable incidences other than they both just ran into the back of each other. But I think, Max had every right to defend that line. Yeah, Kay is a bit squirmy, but he didn't make any major move from...
so many other drivers did that during the race. And
Yeah.
like we were saying, Leclerc and Max were doing some questionable things to each other as well, but they sort of knew where the limit was, whereas Vettel, you'd think a champion and someone with so much experience would go, right, so Max Verstappen, the most aggressive Formula One driver almost ever.
Yeah.
Why am I trying to stick it down the inside when there's not really a gap there either anyway? And he was always going to cover that inside line.
It was desperation, I think, at the end of the day, because Max was quicker. He got past, and he was like, if I don't get through, I've lost the podium. And he's just gone for it, and it's not worked out at all.
And the fact that Seb's apologised himself, clearly...
That was a really nice moment.
His team radio was, what's he doing? And then he's probably gone, no, what am I doing?
Yeah. Watched it back and gone, oops.
He's probably just come out the gravel and gone, that was actually my fault, wasn't it?
How incredible, though, that both of them
continued.
Especially some of the pictures of Max's car where he's in the air because he's hit a sausage curb and launched it. And there are some pictures where he is really far in the air and you just think, how did he get back to that?
Because especially because, I know it was different. What we were saying, I think actually me and you were saying, Matty, that maybe that jump actually saved him because it meant his car didn't get bogged down as much in the gravel. I don't know if that's the case or not because like a Giovinazzi, it came out that he had a problem.
He had
a problem.
Because the way his car was sat, you could see that there was something wrong with his suspension or something.
Suspension failure or something, or just a rear end failure. But maybe he didn't get bogged down so much and he was kind of because he was on the edge of the gravel track, wasn't he? So I don't know.
Yeah, Max kind of bounced and carried on, whereas I'm surprised Vettel got out, to be honest. Because
I'm surprised they both got out, to be honest.
In the gravel. But, both drivers did very well to get out of the gravel, because I'm sure Verstappen wasn't expecting to be flying over a sausage curb into that corner, was he? So,
and to carry on going after that, I can't imagine what that would have felt like. I don't think that would have been very comfortable.
That would have hurt.
I loved the reaction from that Red Bull mechanic, which was pretty much my reaction of, yay.
Yeah, he's become a meme now, hasn't he?
He was just did the kind of over the top shocked face, like,
oh my god. And I want to also mention about the commentary. So Crofty, I'm critical of him, and I won't lie, I'm not. But I feel like in this race, he does make mistakes. Don't get me wrong, but the way in which he commentates, especially moments like that, or moments like Bottas and Hamilton going side by side, hairs were up on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
He does absolutely nail the hype moments. And
we were just talking about that before.
Yeah, we were talking about that and different commentary.
The commentary from Crofty was... You love those moments when they're wheel to wheel. Commentary just adds so much. That's why Murray Walker was so great, because he's just going absolutely ballistic at everything.
But everybody was. I think there was an amazing moment on the Channel 4 coverage where it was Brundle watching the Max and Charles kind of various episodes that we've already covered. But at one point, he just laughs. Like he just
Sky.
Sky, sorry.
Brundle works for Channel 4.
I was like, wait, sorry, I watched both and
he laughed when they laughed wheels.
He laughed because he was just like, that's brilliant. And then there was one point where, I've forgotten which. There's so many episodes, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was when Charles came back at Max I can't remember. Anyway, Charles came back after being overtaken and he just goes, wow.
No, that was the Gasly move. That was when he went around the outside of Gasly at Farm Curve.
That was a great move. Wow. That was a great move.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again.
Wow. Yeah. And it was just so funny because you can hear how excited the commentators were. They were as excited as we were.
And that adds so much to it, doesn't it? It really does.
I was saying my legs, my legs were burning because I was like, stood up, sit down, stood up, sit down. It was just like, I just can't
Amazing. Absolutely
Such
amazing.
a good race. Amazing. So many good moments.
Let's quickly cover off Vettel before we move on to Gasly's amazing performance. N. Richard 678 says, do you think Vettel is on his way out?
I think it's definitely the autumn, if not the winter, of his career.
Yeah.
It's difficult because it's easy to jump to conclusions and go, oh, he should retire, and that's a bit maybe over the top. But at the same time, is he going to win another title? Probably not. He doesn't seem to like these cars very much. They don't seem to suit him. He's won 4 world titles. If anything, he seems to just be damaging his reputation among fans and other, racing drivers.
Do you think he'd do a Kimi and go to a smaller outfit?
No. I think he'd just want to go.
I don't think I think he just...
But I think because he said that he just loves racing. And he would want to race.
Maybe
just like
do
Kimi.
Another series.
Kimi had a great race. I'm sure we'll cover it a little later on. But I don't think... Obviously, I think when you're at your peak of your career, there is that pressure to perform. But once you pass that peak, and you then just kind of, I think the number one thing he wants to avoid is an Alonso situation.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why he couldn't be really good for F1 still at a smaller team. If anything, if he could be associated with bringing a team up.
Yeah, one thing he is known as well is the amount of effort he puts into setting up the car. I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as he jumped to Red Bull from Toro Rosso, they started doing really well. As soon as he went to Ferrari, they started doing a lot better than when Alonso was there.
Yeah, but that's just that. I mean, again, we were talking about it, weren't we? Like McLaren is a completely different team. The Carlos and Lando are just like, you can feel the energy that they bring, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the teams do better once Alonso. And
it was very noticeable at Silverstone how Lando is getting obviously not the same level as Lewis, but on the Friday all the caps were sold out.
Yeah.
Fair play.
I saw so many people wearing McLaren hats.
Yeah.
So many people wearing McLaren hats.
Yeah, he's got a huge following.
Ones.
You look at his Instagram, he's got like 650,000 followers or something ridiculous like that already. You know, Lando's huge.
He's just becoming so popular. So many people expect over the weekend.
He's just so relatable.
Yeah,
he's just a kid living the dream. And I think people really buy into that.
Definitely.
I felt a little bit sorry for George in that respect.
Yeah, but he'll have his time.
I know, but it must be tough being the F2 champion.
And being
he beat him and
team.
won.
Yeah.
He had his best race finish ever, but it didn't you could tell when he was being interviewed, it didn't feel like he didn't take any joy from that. And obviously, I'm sure like Lando was disappointed as well in his where he finished because he got shafted by strategy. But at least I guess Lando's compensation was the fact that everyone was very hyped for him, and he must have had a very busy weekend, I'm sure, but such a nice weekend in that respect where you didn't feel like George had the same reception.
Yeah, I feel like George, it doesn't help that he's at Williams. He doesn't get as much attention, full stop.
No.
But I think Lando's done really well in the way that he's captured his audience as well.
He's a brand.
He's
a full-on brand.
Yeah, I mean, milk, and it's beautiful. I bet McLaren love that because they're sponsored by hot chocolate milk, aren't they? So
Husky, yeah. Oh, name drop.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
We'll bill you for that.
But yeah, it's great to see. And I think for George, as much as I do feel sorry for his situation currently, F2 champions in the past have not even got a seat. At least he has got his foot in the door. He's able to prove that he's beating Kubica week in, week out. He shows he's got it.
So slow.
Yeah, I mean,
because we were watching him come through Luffield, and you'd watch the line, and everyone was obviously quite a tight field at the end, that end of the grid. But he looked wobbly. He looked slow.
Yeah.
He looked
whereas
twitchy, George was still.
George was getting stuck in again when he is in the midfield. He does go for it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's nice. He probably just enjoys seeing other cars. Right, let's talk about Gasly a little bit because he did very, very well. Nathan Coogan says, what do you think changed for Pierre Gasly in his race approach as he stepped up in a big way this weekend? Super happy for him and to see this. I've seen a few things saying that they were talking about his engineers being quite young, which is an interesting angle on it. And they've said that maybe Red Bull have stepped in some way to change in terms of the setup and things like that. There's talk about Max's setup being on his car, but then that was also spoken about as if it was a negative thing and that he was being told to copy it. But something's definitely changed because overnight, he's not on Max's level, but he was there.
Yeah.
That's where he needs to be. I wrote exactly the same thing in my notes, that he's still getting beaten by Max on pace, but he's closer, and that's where he needs to be. He beat Vettel in qualifying. He wasn't getting sort of sucked into the midfield like he was in previous races. He was up there, and he finished ahead of Max because of Max's issue, but he was on the back of him for the whole race anyway, and he was in that Ferrari fight. Normally it's just Max racing the two Ferraris. That all four of them were going at it.
And you don't get lapped by your teammate the last race and be battling with him almost in the next one without something massive changing. So obviously it's something that it's more speculation, but it seems like it's definitely something to do with the setup of the car. I feel like obviously with that comes confidence and
Yeah.
him going up the inside of Vettel.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what Germany brings. I think Germany will kind of be was it a one-off?
Yeah.
Or was it?
I hope it's not.
Yeah, we know that he has the talent.
We've
He's
spoken
finished
about it so many
fourth at
times.
Bahrain, Toro Rosso, and stuff like that.
That's
So-
why you feel sorry for him, because it's not like he's a pay driver that's just
No,
got
not at
there and doesn't really deserve to be in that seat. He does deserve to be in that seat.
I hope he
because
turns the season round.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. Safety car. There was an interesting thing, which I was also quite shocked about when Giovinazzi went off with his suspension issue, that there was an actual full safety car for that.
It's almost like they changed their mind, because it went. Did it go virtual? Because they.
No, I don't think
it
it
went
I
is.
thought
straight
it
to
did, because the
safety.
cars were slowing down,
Oh, because
Like
they
it was
came
virtual.
past us, didn't
Yeah.
they? And they immediately went to like a delta.
which I feel like was.
But they have
virtual.
to have a delta
No.
for normal
Yeah,
safety
yeah.
car as
It was
well.
just yellow. No, just yellow flag.
Oh, okay,
I think
fair.
it was a yellow flag because they have to slow down the car overtake anyway if it's a yellow flag.
But there wouldn't have been a yellow flag in your section.
No,
would there? Because
exactly,
it would have
yeah.
been on the other side
So
of the
then
track.
it must have been a
Yeah.
VSC.
I
Well, no, but you have a delta for normal safety
I thought
car,
it
no?
went virtual safety car, and then they were
Oh,
like,
maybe.
oh,
Maybe they put
Full safety
VSC,
car.
assessed it, and were like, full safety car.
yeah, I think that's what.
So Henry Koto says, was full safety car necessary yesterday, or would the virtual safety car have been sufficient? Okay, there's quite a few questions. We'll just go with that one. I can only imagine that the only reason they do that was due to the position of the tractor to get rid of it. I don't know.
I think that's something from the Bianchi incident that I think they've just
Very touchy about.
very touchy about.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although it did ruin the fight for the lead in some ways,
Yeah.
because we don't know what Lewis would have done. But at the same time, at the time, everyone was like, "Hello."
Yeah. It's one of
Safety
those
car.
things that you say that we'll never know.
Yeah.
And it bunched up the grid again, and that's always good to see. I always like it when a full safety car comes out, because a VSC always seems a bit of a cop out.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes, okay, it solidified the fact that, and there were a multitude of things that basically solidified Lewis for the win. But I do like, and Lewis's safety car restarts give me heart palpitations, because he just loves to absolutely play with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to watch when Lewis is controlling the pack.
And I feel like he always sells Bottas whenever
Every
there's a safety
time.
car.
Yeah, it's
There's
true.
usually 2 or 3 car lengths every single time.
Yeah.
And fair enough, it is quite difficult to react to a Formula One car going full pelt immediately.
Yeah, without warning.
But then you see a lot of other safety car restarts where there has been a chance for the lead. So
Yeah.
interesting. Haas, let's have a quick chat about what
Oh
happened
my.
with
Yikes.
Haas and maybe even Rich Energy as well. We'll go with the crazed tortoise question. After they knocked each other out of the race, I haven't actually seen a replay of that, but it was going on to Wellington Straight, wasn't it? They
They
collided into each
banged
other.
wheels so aggressively that it
They
broke
took each
both
other
cars.
out. Yeah.
After they knocked each other out of the race, and with their previous encounters this season, should Haas start looking into getting 1 or 2 new drivers?
I mean, Gunther was absolutely fuming, and rightly so, because one thing that happened this weekend was they've been having such huge setup problems that Grosjean was actually running in Melbourne spec,
Yeah.
because they just don't know what is going on with that car. So obviously what you want there is them both to finish the race, and then you can compare what spec is better.
Almost like a practice
Yeah.
run.
All they need to do is bring the car
Stay in
home
the race, yeah.
and stay out of trouble, and they crash into each
So
other on lap 1.
Whose
and
fault was it?
It's hard
there
to
a
say.
fault to be
I
given?
don't think Gunther just absolutely battered both of them.
I bet.
He said there was a pretty savage quote along the lines of both drivers bought a shovel to dig the team in further mess or something. along
Man,
the
oh
lines,
man.
yeah.
And he's not afraid to say exactly how he feels,
Yeah.
as we've
But I
seen
mean,
from Netflix.
they had a shit weekend from the get-go because of all this Rich Energy malarkey.
Hashtag milk float.
Yeah.
That's the,
So let's. So if we go back a few days, we firstly had Rich Energy come out and say that their partnership was over, which was
yeah, out
a
of
very
nowhere.
strange tweet to have read. Then there was the cover-up of there was a rogue individual. It didn't mean
Tweeting
anything.
randomly.
Blah blah blah. We're fine. There was even rumours that they would continue their partnership into next year, and then you had more tweets. You had the tweet of the contract going out or something.
Yeah,
which-
all
Well, no,
sorts of-
it was letters from lawyers
Yeah.
that were.
saying that it was over and
So, but
Well,
they're both conflicting.
Yeah.
Like one says that they can't terminate it. The other one says, and I couldn't tell. I think they're actually coming from Haas's solicitors.
yeah.
Not, and then whoever's got hold of the Rich Energy account is just tweeting them. But it's just absolutely insane. And I feel really sorry for Haas because they're obviously getting just thrown into the middle of this absolute shitstorm that is Rich Energy.
It's the last thing they need when
they
they're
don't
already,
need it. And we don't know how critical Rich Energy's sponsorship of the team is. I mean, I don't even know if they've.
Well, if they're
paid.
that's what I mean. If they're a title sponsor, it's
Rich Energy hasn't even paid White Bikes, so I imagine they haven't probably paid Haas. So
I think
what was it that you said that it was £52 that Rich Energy has made?
Something ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I think it was a bit more than that. I think it was like 30. They were told to pay White Bikes 35 grand, which is
but that was to cover their legal fees, I think.
Oh, was it? I didn't know if that
they
was
had to
sales
divulge to White Bikes how much they've made off anything using that logo.
Yeah,
but I don't think that was divulged.
Sales. There's all sort of. I seem to see some kind of legal contract on Twitter every day about Rich Energy. And apparently even themselves tweeting their own legal documents, which is very bizarre.
The strangest thing I've ever seen in Formula One to do with sponsors, by a country mile.
Yeah.
And you've got to think, Rich Energy was known as this very mysterious, dodgy company even before all of this went on. So you have to think that Haas were maybe in such a terrible position going into this. And they were like, well, we're just going to have to take the punt. And it's absolutely backfired. And I am actually quite concerned as to as we've lost a light out there, quite concerned as to what exactly is going to happen next, because are they going to continue in Formula One? Do they have any other sort of backups?
If you think they
so.
Came into Formula One as well as the Ferrari B team, and now Alfa Romeo have stepped in with Sauber, and it's very much looking like now Haas have gone from like a Ferrari B team to not even that.
Yeah,
they've got a title sponsor, which is obviously going absolutely horrendous.
There's talk of them just trying to go bankrupt now, and
they're
that
just
sort of
their drivers crashing into each other. I can't imagine how bad for a team members that weekend.
I think the biggest loss would be Gunter Steiner if Haas was to disappear. I'm sure that he'd maybe find
he might get that FIA president job.
That'd be amazing.
We wanted.
He would not take any shit. Okay, any other sort of things that you guys have got on your little notes, or are we good for the race and we can get on to the favourite part of the show?
It was bloody brilliant.
Great race. We haven't actually moaned that much, have we? Which is great.
We've
had a nice positive.
Stewards stayed
apart
out
from Rich
of
Energy.
Stewards stayed out of the racing.
Stewards did great.
Obviously, Vettel got a 10-second time penalty.
Which didn't do anything.
But people were very angry about that, though, on Twitter.
But then the argument for that, which I agree with, is that his race was absolutely ruined anyway, and he finished last.
Point?
So
I feel like
should he have a penalty into the next race? I don't think
guess
so.
I mean, not to kick up old stuff again, but if you're not going to give a penalty because in that circumstance, then you start making too many grey areas. I think. But
let's not do stewards because that's where we get ranty.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get ranty. No. I'm so happy. I'm so chilled.
Great
I'm
race.
knackered, but I'm so happy. The buzz that I had yesterday, the adrenaline that I had yesterday from the atmosphere, the race, obviously everything that happened with us, with the fans and stuff. It was just and then after all that, we went and ended up watching the end of the Cricket World Cup, which was just again next up. Everybody was stayed behind at the track. They had it on the big screens, and we watched England win on what was the most crazy ever
day of sport ever
final. And then it was just I was saying to Tommy, I feel numb.
Yeah.
I feel so numb because I've had the best time ever. I said to pretty much everyone, I was like, this is why I love F1. Everything about this weekend is why I love F1. The community sense of being with all the fans, the positive energy, the racing, just absolutely everything about it. The history. I was getting so patriotic when the red arrows went over. It was just I almost wanted to cry. It was so good, and it's just I'm so glad that it happened the way it happened because it's what we needed.
Yeah.
Like even more so than Austria. It's just this is what we needed. And I know people are saying, yeah, well the Merc still won anyway, and it was
Yeah,
still
but if
crap.
you can't see past that, then
Absolutely.
You
I
need to
say
re-educate
the race
yourself.
result becomes a little bit irrelevant when
No,
how good
it
that
was
race
care that
just-
Hamilton won.
Just what
Yeah.
an absolutely phenomenal day.
Yeah. And here. That's what I'll say to that. I agree with everything.
Oh my god, have we agreed on everything this
Yeah.
podcast?
Well, we're not about to do that.
no.
Because now it's time for ABCDEF1. Yay. Right. Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton. A.
A.
Yeah.
The only thing he
Godwin
cocked up
Harmony.
on was quality.
Quali. Yeah. Valtteri Bottas.
B.
A as well.
2 A's. Do you want to change your mind?
Not really.
Right, let's try and persuade Jess to an A. Got pole, was leading, got his elbows out,
Fought back.
fought back.
Just
All right,
made the wrong
A.
strategy call.
Cool, there we go.
That didn't take long to
No, it
convince me.
Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel.
F.
D.
F. Shocking qualifying.
Oh, yeah, finished last.
Like,
Yeah.
Crash.
It's got to be
Not
an
even,
E
he
or
didn't
an F.
even like.
Yeah.
It didn't even
Okay,
make
yeah.
that many. He attempted moves
Yeah, it can't be
on
a
track.
D. I completely forgot that he wiped out Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Yeah, F.
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 Yeah.
I'm surprised you aren't giving him a get kicked out the sport grade after taking out your...
But he gets a gold
your
star
lover.
for his
Apology.
Apology. Yeah. That otherwise it'd
F
be a
star.
U.
No, it's in like a gold. Like, you know, like
F star,
you know, like
star,
when your
star.
teacher would give you like NAF
Yeah.
stickers for like.
You tried.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
Thanks for trying. Okay, so Vettel, F star. Charles
Like-
Leclerc.
Ooh, A.
A. Yeah, because
A,
he only ended up behind everyone because of Ferrari
And he
messing
fought
up the
his way
strategy,
back
and he
up.
fought his way back up.
Out. A, definitely.
A, definitely.
Red Bull, Max Verstappen.
A.
Whoa. A stars.
Were you
really
going to say
when
A
you-
star?
You,
No, I didn't.
you didn't want to give Max an A star in Austria, and you want to give him an A star in Silverstone.
I just thought he was phenomenal, and I don't know why. I think more so than Leclerc, but I just think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel really proud of him.
It's after your lovely speech. You're like, I'm just so happy. A stars everywhere.
I'm going to be like so. Oh wait, apart from like Seb, we're
Yeah.
full on
Yeah,
F.
get the F.
But I don't know. I think I'm just.
He's
Proud of him.
overperforming the Red Bull again. I think he's just been getting A's all the time. But
Yeah, he hasn't got
again,
anything lower than that.
the only
Yeah,
reason he
give him
didn't
an A
finish
then.
ahead of
Yeah.
Gasly was because he got punted. So
Yeah. Pierre Gasly. I'm going to give him a B.
B. Yeah, I
B.
think B.
Well done, Gasly.
But a merit badge for just
B merit.
B
God,
merit.
we're giving all kinds of badges out here. I like this.
Like half a point.
Don't get onto that. Jess, I'm so happy. I'm not happy now.
No, I'm not happy now.
Daniel Ricciardo.
What about Carlos?
What?
Carlos.
Oh, we're not doing it in order. We're doing it team wise.
Yeah.
This sheet is like different ways around, or is that just the?
That's just the
No,
race
no,
result.
I scrolled past your copy and paste of the,
Sorry,
of the results.
guys.
It's fine.
I'm
No
not-
worries. It's like,
I just
Carlos?
can't read the sheet.
Carlos doesn't drive for Renault.
Oh, Daniel Ricciardo. B.
Yeah, I loved his
His-
battle with Lando.
Oh my
was
god, that
good.
was incredible.
That was
and
good in
also
that
the
one,
whole
Pube gate.
gate. Would you call it that?
You're giving him an extra.
No, just
Merits.
that was really funny. And
Yeah.
then they've sort of had a bit of a cheeky little bromance and Twitter banter and stuff. And now I think Ricciardo before the race was like, "Oh, Lando should bring it." And then the first lap, those two are going
Goes up the
side by
outside cups
side.
and-
Awesome!
That's brilliant.
Love
Okay,
it.
B for
But
Ricciardo.
Yeah, B for Ricciardo. Hulkenberg C.
Oh, he got wiped out by Perez and was very much
Yeah.
with Ricciardo the whole race until
Yeah,
then.
but there's just something
Difficult
about
to judge.
Hulkenberg just doesn't.
He's just a
Seem
bit.
to
He's just a
be-
bit meh.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that can summarize
was
his
chance-
entire career, really,
yeah.
isn't it? Meh. Just a bit
not,
meh.
not one
Yeah.
podium.
Well,
Uh,
Hulkenberg needed to bring it to Ricciardo, and that was his chance to show the top teams, I deserve podiums. I deserve to be in a top team.
Would you not say that he's been on par with Danny Rick?
No.
No, I wouldn't say he's. I wouldn't say on par. I think
Well, there or
he's been
thereabouts.
close. I think he's been close, but I don't think that's good enough. And especially with his experience of the team and the car already.
Yeah. Keep talking. I'm just looking up the Drivers' Championship standings. Yeah, that's not...
So in the alternative F1
League,
universe, Ricciardo is 5th and Hulkenberg is 6th.
Yeah, so Danny Rick, 22 points, Hulkenberg, 17. So, yeah, I don't think Ricciardo's really handing Hulkenberg.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say he's absolutely handing
But
it to him. I'm just saying Hulkenberg really needs to show that he is a megastar driver, like people seem to think he is.
Yeah.
It goes to, like, Ricciardo is going to send it.
Yeah.
when he needs to.
Yeah.
I've never seen that with
No,
Hülkenberg.
that's very true.
He's never had those magic moments where you get excited.
He's just
does
more
in
a measured
the-
driver, isn't he?
Does in the rain and then bottles his chance for a podium. It
true.
seems to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. He's not a superstar, unfortunately.
He's vanilla.
Oh wow!
Haas.
Just
Both of them
The pair of Fs, use. You can't
Because
even grade.
yeah.
Lap one.
ungraded.
Sound like them
Ungraded.
for that, don't I?
Didn't even hand in their
One
homework
absolute, like, almost like that's detention.
to joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can come here.
See me after
Inexcusable
class.
podcast.
Yeah.
McLaren, Carlos Sainz.
Decent again, yeah.
He is proving to be Mr. Consistent.
Had a bad qualifying, but
Yeah.
came home in seventh. Yeah, it can't have been sixth because
Seventh?
the Red
Scroll
Bulls-
back up to the.
Oh no, the Ferrari didn't. Yeah, they would have been sixth, maybe. Sixth.
Sixth, yeah.
Sixth.
Sixth.
Yes, yeah.
I got it right.
So yeah,
Sixth.
Carlos A.
No, B.
What are you on about? He qualified. I know he had a bad qualifying, but he was like 13th or something. Was he
He
12th?
also got very lucky with the safety car
Yeah, I
strategy.
think his
He
strategy
played
helped.
it beautifully.
Because Carlos got
We just
okay
give
and
everyone
Lando
an A.
absolutely shafted.
Okay, if you want to give him a B. Okay, let's give Lando a B then.
Yeah, I think Lando B.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Although, like-
Unfortunate for
It was
him that
very
his home
unfortunate.
race. I think he was a little bit gutted, but I mean, I'm sure he
Rightfully
still had a
so.
mega weekend. so-
Rightfully so. But again, props for the Ricciardo battle because
Yeah.
that boy brought
Well, at the start, he was best of the
Brought
rest, and we thought if he can get best of the rest, but unfortunately, strategy just didn't go his way. So,
He
it
got
wasn't
very
really his
unlucky.
fault, but as
No.
we say, it's the whole weekend that we're taking into consideration.
Absolutely. Racing points.
so what pays a racing point? You mean?
Yeah. Sergio Perez. No.
Had a
D,
rubbish.
F.
Yeah,
Wiped
rubbish.
out Hulkenberg.
No, I don't think.
D.
No, he had a
Oh,
problem. He had a problem.
I don't care if he had.
He had a,
No, but he
had
still
a,
crashed,
He had a steering
though.
problem. He had a steering problem.
He still
Well,
crashed though.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
He could have braked
all
better.
right. So, what are we giving Giovinazzi then?
What was the steering problem?
What was this? Yeah.
I didn't read the exact thing. I just saw the headline. But apparently, Perez had a steering problem.
He steered into Hulkenberg.
Yeah,
he
he
steered
hit
into
Hulkenberg, then he had a steering problem.
No,
Maybe. You don't know.
it's tough because I
it's
genuinely
tough.
think he was doing really well. Like he looked quite aggressive at points, and was trying to stick in moves.
Did
and
he get a penalty for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hitting Hulkenberg, he must have. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I can only. Obviously, I don't know the steering problem, but I feel like after he mounted the curb, jumped up, hit Hulkenberg, that would then have caused the steering problem for me.
Yeah.
But
He
then,
said it out before.
yeah, whatever, Perez. Right. Okay. I'll give him D then.
They're
D.
struggling a bit, aren't they? Yeah.
They're
D.
really struggling. Lance Stroll, where did he finish?
He did better.
13th.
But still not
D.
anything to shout
Where
about.
did
is
he?
it?
Where did he?
17th, I think he started, didn't he?
He gained 5 places. Yeah, he
But
started 18th and finished 13th.
Yeah, he's always starts.
Which means he earned £5,000 for breast cancer care
Which
because
is
they're doing that thing where
Lance Stroll.
for every position they gain, I think they've purposefully done
Yeah.
that for Lance
They
Stroll,
knew
Yeah.
Lance would start 17th or below, didn't they?
and
So-
then managed to work his way up
Yeah.
almost to the point.
Okay, I'll give him a C then.
So yeah, and £5,000 in the kitty.
Yeah, C.
C? Okay.
See,
Just for his charitable donation.
yeah.
C for
See
charity.
for charity.
Alfa Romeo. Kimi Raikkonen.
Again, a really good race from Kimi.
Where did he finish?
He finished P8. He finished P8.
There's like that tiny bit of pause, like, where's
Yeah.
Kimi in
and
my
he
spreadsheet?
started 12th.
Yeah,
So-
good race.
Decent for Alpha, yeah.
Decent for Alpha.
Did he benefit from the safety car? I'm not really sure.
One of those the midfield was just chaos with the safety car. It shows how close that midfield battle is, where seemingly every time on A, B, C, D, F1, we're like, what happened? Renault and then McLaren, and then it seems to just change every race, which
it
is
does,
amazing. One thing actually, when we spoke to Perez on
Lights back on.
Saturday,
Yeah.
because they were looking to get some time with him, and his sort of idea for the future was just if F1 is as good as the midfield for all the teams, that would be incredible.
He even said, like, I don't care about how fast the cars are.
Or
It's
how
about-
much I want to
or
push
how
the
much I wanna
cars
push
or
it.
tyre
I
strategy.
just want close
racing.
racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what
Fair.
everyone wants, I think. Drivers and spectators.
Yeah.
So, Kimi, we're going to give a B?
Yeah, why not?
B.
B? Okay, and Antonio Giovinazzi?
I mean,
Where was he when he crashed?
I actually don't know that answer.
I know.
But he started 11th, which is not
Ahead of
bad.
Kimi?
Yeah.
He's doing all right. He's on, to be fair, to be able to
He's
out-qualify. He's picked up his game
Absolutely.
and he is battling with...
But he is Mr. Spinny, crash spinny.
So if his suspension broke, that's a bit hard.
No, I know. Yeah, in this instance.
Yeah,
but I just mean
he does
he's
spin a lot.
starting to make a bit of a routine of this, regardless of whether it was the car's problem or not. Like, he is making a bit of a...
But I think he's
name for himself.
generally kind of picked up his game. C, because we don't really know where he was.
Sifo, can't remember.
Okay, cool. Toro Rosso, Daniel Kvyat.
He gained 8 positions and finished in the points. And we saw none of it.
I was going to say, I don't
saw
To be fair,
none
there's so
of
much
it.
action.
Yeah.
Action
No, I know,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't really...
We say action.
Complain.
The last 30 laps wasn't that much. It was just the first 20, which was the manic.
There's still a lot going on.
Why are Toro Rosso getting such a hard time of it in terms of coverage?
They're a bit anonymous, though, to be fair, and you just...
I felt like they weren't. I didn't feel like they were anonymous at the start of the season. I felt like they were getting quite a lot, and now.
And well, Albon had that amazing race, didn't he,
Yeah.
at the start of the
But
season?
then I feel like it's just kind of petered into insignificance, and then it's one of those things where we see it again, like on the Monday or Tuesday when someone uploads an F1 TV clip.
Oh, have you seen this
of the
amazing
onboard.
5 wide? Oh,
Yeah, and you're
not on
like, what?
television.
How is this not here?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well,
yeah.
to
Kvyat
Kvyat, we're going to give him an A then if he gained 8 positions.
B...
A. Jess?
B.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a B. Okay. Alex Albon.
B as well.
B.
He lost 3 positions.
Yeah, no, but
E.
he got into Q3, didn't
A.
he? So.
F.
Yeah, qualified 9th.
But then got screwed over clearly.
Yeah.
To be fair,
And didn't Norris got him on the last lap? I think he was struggling with tyres.
Okay.
people do get shafted for doing really well in the midfield teams.
Seems to drop
You
back,
get
doesn't it?
into if you get into Q3, it does often screw you over.
Okay. C? I'm going to give him a C.
Give them a C.
All right.
Can't
People are
give
going
him
to
the
get
same as
so
Kvyat.
pissed at the way that we're doing this grading system. By
Hey,
the way.
if
We
you
didn't
guys
see
have
so we'll
seen-
give him a
It's
C.
difficult.
If you've seen
It's
Kvyat and
difficult.
Albon's race, let us know because
What would you give
it's
him?
missing. It's missing. Speaking of insignificance, Williams.
What?
A for Russell.
Yeah, maybe.
A for Russell.
A for Russell.
Yeah.
A
No,
star.
A for Russell.
What?
A triple star. Merit badge.
I thought
A.
I
Yeah, I'll
was
give him an A.
watching Russell
If you were
when
watching
he was
him
coming around
and-
and he was in the midfield
Giving
scrapping
everything.
away, which fair play.
He made Kubica look like a
Amateur.
non-entity.
A non-entity.
Yeah.
That is savage. Okay, so we're going to give Russell an A then?
Yeah,
Career,
I
career
think an A.
best? If you're ever going to get an A, it's your
Yeah.
career best in the Williams, right?
Yeah, A.
And Robert Kubica.
C.
Don't bother turning up next
C.
week.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1 year thing, isn't it, really? Was it a 1 year contract he signed? It must have been.
Yes. I think it
Because
was.
of his injury. It must have been only
It's
one.
disappointing, but
It's sad, but we knew deep down he wasn't going to be the Kubica that
He
we
just
all knew and
it
loved.
It got overhyped, and that's not his fault.
Yeah. It's
Like-
it's a nice comeback story.
yeah, it's a
It
nice
is,
comeback story.
But
And
it's gone.
Yeah.
for all the
badly.
people really clutching at straws thinking that Williams are somehow shafting Kubica and stuff, is it really a surprise that an F2 wonder kid who, let's be honest, has won everything
Fit as a fiddle.
and is beating comfortably a guy that has had a horrific injury and not been in Formula One for 10 years?
Yeah.
Of course he's going to get beaten.
No surprise
by him.
whatsoever.
However incredible Kubica was back in the day,
Which we're not taking away from him.
we're not taking away from
Absolutely
him
not.
at
No,
all.
He was unbelievable.
George Russell
that was a different
is
man.
always going to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, predictions for the British Grand Prix. This is where my predictions went down the toilet. I'm giving myself 1/3 of a point for this.
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay, so my first prediction was Hamilton fastest in practice qualifying and wins the
You
race.
get no points. You get 0 points.
Tommy?
No, come on.
Okay.
Who
Ferrari.
knows what's good for him?
Yeah, Ferrari over 0.5 of a second slower than Mercedes in qualifying, which is also incorrect.
Incorrect.
Thanks, Charles. Otherwise, it would have been half a point. Wait, because Vettel was over half a second off, right? So that's 1/3 of a
Yeah.
point for the first one and 1/2 a point for the second one.
Impressive.
I don't even know what that makes as a fraction.
You
Okay.
get 0 points total.
Cool. Jess, your 2?
I said track limits would be an issue, and they weren't
No.
because they added gravel. So I'm happy. I'm
But you got
happy
no
that
points.
I got 0 points because they made actually really smart.
They saw
really
your
good
prediction because they
additions.
watch and they were like,
But does that count as track limits were an issue?
No, I'm getting no points.
no, because
Okay.
the gravel was added. No, look, come on.
Yeah.
No.
No, because I will.
Jess
I will
Okay.
tell you why my prediction did not stand.
Okay.
0 points. Okay,
Right.
and the second one?
Was Sky will have a tea party with the British rookies on the start straight.
Nope.
They had a cricket match instead.
Which is
So
And
it's still
didn't
very
you add
British.
to that as well about Lando having milk? That's disappeared from
I did.
the,
I added a bonus point for myself,
Yeah.
but that didn't matter because
Zero.
it was a moot point.
So we're at
0-0,
points.
0-0.
And Tommy?
Tommy, what did you get?
nothing.
Joe Finazzi will have had a short back and sides haircut after his
Nope.
points finish. And
He did have a barber shop visit though.
Half.
No, but he didn't get short back and sides.
Right.
It was shorter, but not short back and sides.
And Albon has an epic race and finishes ahead of Gasly. That's
Gasly
a
had his
negative.
best race.
Yeah.
So that
So
is
it's
just
the other way around, so that's
completely
half a
wrong.
point.
Half a point, yeah.
So we got a grand total of 0 points.
Of 1/3 of a point and a half point.
But I'm happy that we did because it.
Wait, we need
It
to
was
do
good.
the fan prediction.
Yeah, fans
I know.
mock on. Lewis Hamilton will say best fans that he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 point. 12 bar boy. We can leave the circuit with no ongoing stewards investigations.
We can.
Yes.
I mean,
we
yeah.
did.
And Quai Fawkes, Williams' fastest pit crew. No.
No,
The
Red
first
Bull.
time, Red Bull.
Bull.
fair
World
play.
record.
breaking pit
Unbelievable
stops.
scenes. Right, predictions for Germany. On myself, I said it will be even more boring than France.
Let's hope not.
I know, obviously, I'm not hoping for that, but I just think
Don't
it
hope
might.
for it.
Positivity, Matt.
Lance Stroll will reach. It's not positivity; it's points that I want.
Okay.
And Lance Stroll
There's
will
points,
reach Q2. That mean nothing in this podcast.
Because we don't even tally
we don't
them,
even
so
tally them.
it literally means.
Is there
nothing.
anyone out there that's tallying this? Please let us know. Lance Stroll will reach Q2.
But I don't think he will because he wants to make all the money.
Is that for the rest of the season then? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, imagine that he genuinely is sacrificing his career for money. For
Well,
championship
Perez
money.
said like it would push him to have a really, really good race.
And a bad qualifying.
Well, he didn't necessarily say a bad qualifying, but he was just
Yeah.
like, it will just push me to do a really, really good race. So maybe I
Fair.
would start further back and then work my way up.
So Lance Stroll will reach Q2. Jess,
There will be talk about not having a German Grand Prix.
is there any basis on that? Any kind of
Well,
rumours you've heard?
They want to sell tickets. Jokes.
No, so obviously we already know that we're getting additional Grand Prix in the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Germany, Italy and Spain that are currently
It's always under threat, isn't it? Germany.
under
Yeah.
threat. So because of that, I think it's going to be spoken about. And obviously we've had it where we've not had a German Grand Prix before for certain seasons because they just didn't have the facilities or the resource to pay Bernie. So I think it will be something that's discussed in terms of what's the future of the German Grand Prix.
Okay. And the second one, I think I've never seen a more immeasurable prediction in my life, but please read it out anyway.
Coverage will be 90% Mercedes because it's their 125th.
90% Mercedes.
Yeah. Okay, what I mean by
What
that
do you
is
mean by
like...
this?
They'll be showing Mercedes all the time.
Yeah, Mercedes will dominate coverage.
And then we found out that Kvyat went from last to second, but we won't know about
but we
it.
won't know about it because 125 years of Mercedes.
Okay. So most of the race coverage will be
Yeah,
Mercedes.
I said 90% just to,
That is a hell of a lot of coverage if that's 90%.
I mean, certain people would argue that's Sky coverage anyway,
Oh,
so...
yeah, that's Lewis. Yeah. Okay, and Tommy?
Tommy,
Hamilton and Bottas will drive the old school Mercedes, like the Fangio style ones.
Yep.
'cause
is that
that'd be
linked
part
to
of
the
the
celebration.
125?
Yeah.
Yes.
Years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that during the race weekend or
Just
leading
during the
up
race
to it, or-
weekend. I'm keeping it loose to get points.
Okay, loose.
And
this
Haas
one?
will remove Rich Energy branding. I think they'll just say jog on.
I think they'll still have it personally.
You reckon?
But yeah.
No, I think they're going to just get sick of it.
Okay.
Just think how many tweets there's going to be for the next 2 weeks about it. So surely
it's
can't
getting
last.
cringy now.
Yeah,
I
it is.
just need to stop Rich Energy. It's not funny. Right, fans, Veloce Esports. The weather forecast will continually say rain is coming during the race, but it never will. That is genuinely what I thought I was going to put down as my prediction.
Really?
Like, almost word for word. That's mental. And
Get out my
that's
head.
Justin. Hello, Justin. And oh my God, AS19534534003.
Is that their phone number?
Don't try and call that. The commentators will reference Vettel's crash about 172 times.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have to
We'll
take
count
a
it.
90%.
Can
tally.
someone, yeah.
And someone has to tally that. Good luck. And finally, Pista_CSI, both Haas will DNF again.
Oh, that'd be really unfortunate.
That will be
now,
the end of
wouldn't it?
Haas.
With no Rich Energy branding.
Wow. Well, we're done.
Whoa.
I don't know how long that's
did it.
been. Do you reckon it's over an hour?
An hour?
Yeah, it's probably over an hour. I don't know.
Well,
We'll find out.
I mean, I'm just real happy talking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
Jess is just
I'm just so
vibrant today.
happy.
Just, love it. hopefully we will be the same for Germany.
Let's hope so. Let's hope your
Well,
prediction is wrong.
If I get points for my predictions, if
We'll
it's
be
2
sad.
points, it might be a ranty one. But that is it for the British Grand Prix. Thank you so much, everyone, especially the people that came and said hello once again. I do want to thank you again because, as Jess has shown, we are all very, very happy to give you content. Even if you didn't see us at Silverstone, we're so happy just to be able to do this as our jobs. And it meant a lot, didn't it? The British Grand Prix.
It did. Amazing weekend.
It's sometimes difficult to separate, when we see numbers, we're like, oh, it's amazing with the video's done well. But when you see 1% of those numbers in real life, or 0.1% of those numbers in real life, it means a lot. So thank you so much to everybody. And until next time, we will see you for the German Grand Prix.
Yes.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Currywurst.
Sorry, wife.
Currywurst. Okay, let's not get racist.
No, I just love currywurst.
Same.
So good. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bovril.
Beefy, Bovril.